Our next homeowners grabbed the beer mug possibility. They poured in a lot of imagination, added a couple of shots of dedication, and then filled the rest of the mug up with incredible vision. They took a sip, and poof, they made their home out of a southwestern cantina. Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, this old cantina was given new life. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
For artists Becky, Hendrick, and Parish, this old 1947 cantina is their home and their art gallery. So is this one of your pieces?
That's one of my sculptures. That's called Crossroads. It's made of columns off of the house Becky grew up in Jackson, Mississippi.
Boasting more than 4,000 square feet, today the old cantina has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a cozy kitchen and dining room, a den, and a whole lot of character.
Loco Garcia built the cantina.
Loco Garcia.
And he earned his name, I think. He would ride his horse, supposedly, right into the bar.
Becky and Ray recall how the cantina was laid out.
This large wooden floored area was the dance hall, and the bar itself was behind this wall. This section didn't exist. So you moved from the bar into the dance hall.
Got it. Flooded with lots of natural light today. It wasn't always this way.
There were big holes in the roof. There were big, in fact, where most of the skylight locations are, there were serious roof leaks, serious rotting and sagging, so you're not hesitant to cut in and make a skylight.
They saved as much of the original floors as they could.
It was covered with chewing gum and tobacco spit and who knows what else. And I spent a month sanding it with a 14-inch sander, sitting on the floor.
Oh my gosh.
Square inch by square inch.
The walkway between the gallery and the kitchen used to look much different.
This is part of the original architecture, but somewhere before our taking the building, someone had boxed in a rectangular door. Can you imagine that?
So they returned it to its original look, adding to the flavor of the building. Also adding flavor is this shining tribute to the old cantina.
This is one of the few remaining elements from the original cantina, just a piece of neon that was for the original bar. So I just remounted it here and brought that back into the room.
Just past the dining area and kitchen is a den featuring slate tile floors and lots of charm, while the master bedroom has a distinctly southwestern feel.
This part of the house was just storage, and this bookshelf over there was a doorway from the bar into a room that functioned as a beer cooler.
Ed is in the beer cooler?
So Ray had to knock down that entire cement wall to enlarge this room and eventually make it into our bedroom.
The master bathroom was converted from 2 public restrooms.
Originally, this was a full bathroom, and you can still see a hint of the original door. There was a wall here where we put glass bricks, so what we did was incorporate 2 and make one really luxurious bathroom with a double shower.
And Becky really made it her own with this creative mosaic design.
But for an entire summer, I'd go to dollar stores or flea markets, and I would buy old plates, and then I'd go outside and just let them go, and then come in and spend many, many, many hours doing this mosaic work. And some really neat things occurred quite by accident.
When they first spotted the place, they were in the process of moving from Indiana to New Mexico.
And when we saw this in a drive-by, we got out and looked at it and looked in the windows and knew that we wanted it, but for some reason we weren't able to get in that day, and I went back to Indiana. He sent me these beautiful photographs, really. He worked for 4 months. He would come out here and just slave away, cleaning it up.
But nothing could prepare Becky for what she saw the first time she walked inside.
So after 4 months, I walked in, and he was disappointed in my response, I have to say, because I wasn't overwhelmingly enthused. I was in a bit of a panic. It was like, what have we done?
What were you expecting? What were you hoping for?
I think I expected her to kind of see it the way I was seeing it. I was seeing what it could be instead of what it was, and she walked in and saw it as it was, and there wasn't a lot to be proud of.
And Becky recalls their first few days in the space with love and affection.
We didn't have a refrigerator or a stove. We didn't have hot water. So we camped in here, and in the morning, in the sawdust, because we were still doing so much work, there were tracks of centipedes and other...
Couldn't identify.
Right.
Oh my God. After several years and a lot of hard work, they made this place into their very own artist's loft.
We would get up in the morning and we'd say, you know, this is like a New York City loft. And then we'd raise the blinds and look across the street, and our neighbors would be skinning a goat. So we knew we weren't in New York City.
But they took the gallery from this to this. And look how they transformed the kitchen. But why not just tear it down and start all over?
It's a little harder in some ways, and it's certainly dirtier to try to renew something or rebuild something. But there's a character that comes with the old and with the history of what something has been. To me, that's just more interesting.
They bought it for $35,000 back in the 80s, and they have no idea how much they put into it.
You know, a lot of times when you do a renovation, you're thinking about resale. That was never a consideration. This was done so that we would enjoy living in it, and we could live in it the way we needed to in terms of being artists and doing what we do.
It's sort of like a self-portrait, isn't it?
That's true. That's true.
It's the perfect blend of home, studio, and gallery for this creative couple.
I love this place so much. I love the space of it. It just feels like a true reflection of our life together